Oliva could never have imagined that his abs, harder than steel, would be pierced by a single punch. Filled with defiance, Oliva immediately launched another attack, only to have his toes crushed under the opponent's foot. Instantly, a sweeping kick sent Oliva flying through the air. This man was Ron Shoan, who had maintained an unbroken 25-year undefeated streak in Taiwan's underground fighting scene. Even when facing Oliva, hailed as the world's most free man, he remained utterly nonchalant, hands still tucked in his pockets. Enraged, Oliva unleashed a furious barrage, only to have his strikes effortlessly parried with a single hand. To Ron Shoan, Oliva's speed seemed as sluggish as a standstill. Within 2 exchanges, Ron Shoan's palm shattered Oliva's eardrum. Only then did Oliva finally comprehend. The technique Ron Shoan employed was the venomous hand. So, with his hands in his pockets, he had been in his true combat preparation phase. The next instant, Oliva decided to imitate him, placing his hands on his hips. Seeing this, Ron Shoan finally withdrew his hands from his pockets. He then stepped before Oliva. The instant Oliva launched his attack, Ron Shoan's palm slammed viciously into his face, immediately followed by a punch, striking Oliva squarely in the jaw. Severely wounded, Oliva crashed to the ground. Yujiro, observing from the sidelines, had also deciphered Ron Shoan's fighting technique. The instant his opponent launched his attack, Ron Shoan's karate chop had already been poised within his pocket. Harnessing explosive power from a twisting hip rotation, he delivered a lethal finishing blow. As Oliva struggled back to his feet, he finally grasped the method to defeat Ron Shoan. Mimicking his opponent's stance, he thrust both hands into his pockets. Feeling deeply insulted, Ron Shoan immediately charged at Oliva in fury. Yet Oliva chose not to meet the blow head-on. He slowly raised his hand, then brought it crashing down. With a single strike, Ron Shoan's eyes rolled back, teetering on unconsciousness. Just as Oliva thought victory was assured, Ron Shoan rose once more. Both men struck identical poses simultaneously. Ron Shoan launched his attack first. To the astonishment of the spectators, Oliva made not a single defensive move throughout. Suddenly, Oliva clasped Ron Shoan's head tightly with both hands. He threw his body violently backwards, simultaneously tensing his abdominal muscles to the utmost. He delivered a vicious headbutt, smashing it into his opponent's face. Yet even after absorbing such a devastating blow, Ron Shoan refused to concede defeat. He swung his karate chop once more, aiming squarely for Oliva's abdomen. But to his astonishment, every finger was snapped clean off by Oliva's taut abdominal muscles. It turned out that to forge this most formidable physique, Oliva underwent daily specialized training involving helicopters. This had rendered his muscle density far surpassing that of diamond. When his abdominal muscles contracted with full force, even a Barrett rifle couldn't pierce them. Yet Ron Shoan refused to concede. But the instant their palms touched, his fingers snapped clean off once more. Immediately, Oliva unleashed another headbutt upon Ron Shoan. Even with his face smashed beyond recognition, he continued to attack Oliva frantically with his broken hands. Yet the outcome proved cruel. With Oliva's final headbutt, Ron Shoan's fighting capacity was utterly extinguished. Even as he lay defeated on the ground, his hands remained firmly in his pockets, not a flicker of wavering. Even Oliva couldn't help but feel profound admiration for this man.